Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is specifically for introducing myself to some of my newer subscribers, or just introducing myself to anybody who maybe is newer to my channel in that they haven't watched many, even if they subscribed a while ago. So I just wanted to say hi and introduce myself to you guys. I did make a video for those of you who may have been subscribed for a really long time and already know the answers to a lot of these questions. I tried to make a separate video for you guys so you could ask questions that I have not answered before. So if you're an older subscriber, go ahead and watch that, or you can watch this too, no problem if you want to watch both. But I wanted to make sure you guys knew what was what. So my channel is ASMRVilla. And I did have a video that I put out where I asked you to ask me questions. So I'm going to answer the questions that were asked of me, plus just introduce myself and answer questions that I get quite often from newer subscribers. I have a couple things that I will be tapping and scratching on a bit as I answer questions for you. So I hope it's relaxing. Here we go. So, first question, how did you learn about ASMR and what made you start an ASMR channel? Okay, so I learned about ASMR about probably about like 4.5 years ago. And it was just because I was searching for a hair tutorial on YouTube and I came across a video that was just hair brushing. Only hair brushing. They just kept brushing this girl's hair and they weren't talking. It was so interesting. I couldn't figure it out. But for some reason I had the weirdest thought. I thought, is this like a mother making a video for their child? I don't know why that came to me. I thought maybe this is somehow for that. I couldn't figure it out. But then I saw it had ASMR. And I realized as I looked on the videos beside it that same acronym was there. So I did some research. And I realized that this was something I have experienced my whole life. And so when I clicked on that video, I found myself completely mesmerized and I wanted to watch more like it. So that's how I learned about it in a formal capacity of like that it formally existed and had a name. But how I originally really found out about it as a person was when I was very young. I would experience ASMR. One of the times I remember is when my aunt would be doing her makeup. I would be sitting on like the counter with her in the bathroom and I was a young girl and she'd be doing her makeup and I would just be so relaxed. I loved to watch that. And there were a couple of other women in my life, aunts and people like that when I was young who I had that same experience with, where they'd be putting makeup on and I'd be like the little one sitting next to them while they were showing me what they were doing. Or when my aunt would do her nails or like rummage through her purse. She tended to, it was like so relaxing for me. Another place that I first experienced it was when I would be sitting like behind someone that was playing with someone else's hair. This often happened at church because you sit in a row where you could like see people playing with like the kids' hair or their husband's back, like scratching their back. If you're sitting behind them, you see that. And it would just mesmerize me and be so relaxing. I remember another time when I was at work and the person across from me, in this like large warehouse type situation, selling items, I'll put it like that. And it was really cool that I could like see across at the group across from me trying to set up their kind of like booth and like items. They were selling items and the way that they were folding things and like getting things out, I don't know why, but like it was so ASMR, so mesmerizing. So I had these experiences all the time growing up. I just didn't realize it was the thing. So when I came across it on YouTube, I loved it. And then I started watching it, falling asleep, and watch it just to relax. I loved it. The next question that followed that was, what made you start an ASMR channel? Yeah, I don't know, I think I had my nails painted one day. I remember walking through IKEA and kind of like tapping on some stuff. And I don't know if maybe that triggered a thought of maybe I could do that. I think that anyhow, I made a video tapping and I thought, why not try it? maybe this could be a fun thing to try. I've had an Etsy shop in the past, and so I've had things where I was on like the internet doing like a social media or selling things, or so I thought, okay, if I start a channel, I have some kind of experience with that, so let's try it. Put up one video and it worked really well, so I put up another and another and another. I think looking back, I'm really glad I did though, because I'm so thankful for it, as I've been falling asleep to it for like 4 years now, and all the benefits that it has for people. So I didn't realize those things at the time, honestly. I didn't start it because I wanted like to help relax people. I did not completely understand it even when I started it. I understood that it gave tingles and that it kind of helped me go to sleep or like relax, but I didn't get like that it helped people with like anxiety and sleep disorders and depression, and just like I hadn't even understand the full benefits it has in my life now at the time when I started it. So it's kind of a fun creative endeavor that happened to be really significant to me now. Another question related is, what's another favorite ASMR channel of mine? I have a lot, but my favorite is Minx Laura 123 ASMR. That's her channel name. She's my favorite. But I really like ASMR Spring. I like Sarah Rios. I love Mary from Southern ASMR, I think it's called. There's another channel that I love, and I think it's called Classic. She's not an ASMR channel, but I think people must have let her know that her store walkthroughs were so relaxing that she should label them ASMR. And so her channel's name, actually let me look, because I can't remember right now. I just know it's like Classic. She's one of my favorites. I'm always on her channel, so it's really easy for me to look it up here. I have my phone in front of me right here. Classy Crafting and Parcels. She's one of my favorites, and even though she's not technically like an ASMR channel, I noticed she started to label ASMR as one of her labels, because I'm sure people let her know. That was really relaxing. Gosh, I have so many favorites. Those are just a few that I'm naming. And they change over time, my favorites, but I will say the one that hasn't changed, it's continued to be my favorite for a couple of years now, is Minx Laura. She does a lot of fast tapping and soft-spoken videos. She's really creative, and I just love her. I love her pace, I think, is the best thing. I like fast stuff, and she's right there with me. I just love it. So if you like that kind of thing, you should check her out. I love her voice. I love her personality. So, okay, the last question about ASMR, my favorite triggers. So I've just said a few: fast tapping, and I love hair brushing when someone is talking, and I like it to be faster also. Really slow is not my thing. I really like if it's a little bit faster or more aggressive, kind of shaking the hair. I love when someone's just naturally talking to someone else while they're brushing hair. Tapping, scratching. I love hauls. I love watching hauls where people are showing the items they've purchased and talking about them kind of softly and tapping on them. So those are probably my favorite. Oh, and store walkthroughs. I keep stopping and then store walkthroughs. I love those. Okay, this next question was someone they asked a really specific question. I'm paraphrasing it, but it was basically, do I believe that ASMR will change largely in the future, or will it basically stay the same as it is now and we'll just refine the triggers that we kind of already know about? So that's a great question. I think it will change a lot. I think it will stay. I think we'll continue to do all the things we always have, but I think we will explore so many other ways that ASMR exists and can be used and can be understood and experienced. So I think it will go really in all sorts of directions. And so I do think it will change largely, but I sure hope we keep all the basics too, because actually my favorite videos are like the really, really basic ones. Nothing flashy, nothing special. But I do think we'll be able to explore a lot. Next, I just wanted to answer some questions that you guys have had over the years for me, just about me, kind of. So I'll be quicker with these. I do have brown hair. I say that because a lot of people, I've gotten more comments than I can even tell you of people saying, I'm always surprised when I see blonde hair showing down in this area, because I always thought you'd be a brunette, just from how you are. And you are right, I am a brunette. I just dye my hair for fun. So I cut my hair recently really short and bleached it completely blonde. That was really fun. I had my hair pink at one time, like a rose pink. There was a point where it was quite bright pink, but that was not, that was because the hairdresser did it more bright than I wanted. And then I did it on my own and made it lighter. So I liked it like a light pink, like a rose color. But my hair is naturally brown. I have blue eyes, and a lot of people ask about my tattoo. I've had this for about, let's see, so I think like 2 years now. It says, a royal diadem in the hand of your god. A royal diadem in the hand of your god. A diadem is like a crown. So a royal crown in the hand of your god. This is from the book of Isaiah in the Bible. It's from Isaiah chapter 62. And so you'll see that in the beginning of that chapter. It's a very significant, it has a very significant meaning to me, especially this word royal, that we are considered by God like treasures to God in his hands. That he would consider us like a treasure in his hands is very sweet. And it's got a very long story. If you're interested in hearing it, I'd be more than happy to share. It's a long one. And it's got some pretty crazy things, twists and turns, and like miraculous things happen that make it significant to have this on my arm. So if you ever want to hear the story, let me know and I'll tell you. I'll make a video of like maybe storytelling, but it's a longer one. So I do only have one tattoo. This is the only one. I have a nose ring. That's something I've never said in the channel at all. And of course you've never seen my face, but I have a nose ring. I have a piercing on my right side of the nose. Just like a itty bitty, like little round kind of ball, really tiny one, silver. I've had that for a long time. I honestly don't even remember I have it, because I had it so long. Then I wanted to answer some questions about my husband, job, stuff like that you guys ask. So I am married. My husband and I are both artists in different capacities. I've never really shared specifically what we do, just because I try to be a little bit anonymous. As you can tell, I'm not even showing my face. But we are artists, and we do quite a few different kinds of arts to meet our financial needs. So you do know that I'm a dancer. That's one thing I've told you, really, you know that. Or maybe you don't. I'm a dancer. So I love jazz, hip-hop, lyrical, contemporary. Those are my favorite styles. That's a big part of my life, and it's a huge way. I love it so much. I love to dance. It's something that's come really naturally to me since I was really young. It was just in my blood. Like, music played and I would just dance. Even if I'd never heard the song and I'd hit at the moments the song would hit, my mom told me, and even if I'd never heard the song. So like rhythm and dance is just in my soul. Many of you know, but we live in community, which means we live with more than just me and my husband. I do not have any children, which is a surprise, I think, to a lot of you, because we have so many kids in our lives that are pretty much like our own children. We are with them and take care of them a lot. That's why even in our room tour, you could see we actually have a crib and a diaper changing table in our room. That's how close we are with these kids. So I do not have any biological children, but we haven't made decisions 100% sure yet whether or not we want to have biological children or not. But even now I feel like we have kids, but we don't technically have our own. You get what I mean? I'm not going to share my age. People have asked my age, but that's one I'm just not going to share. Sorry. You can guess. You can take guesses. I am, like I said, I'm married. This is not my wedding ring, but in some videos I have my wedding ring on, and it's like there's a band and a ring, and the band has some Gaelic on it actually. It says "My Soulmate," and then I have a silver engagement ring with a blue gem on it. Is it topaz, I think? Yeah, so those are a few things I get asked a lot. I thought I'd answer. Something unique to me and special to me is I really love language and culture. I've lived in many different countries. I currently live in the United States. I lived in India for a long time. That was doing ministry with kids who I dearly love. I went there for actually over a period of 5 years on and off, and then I lived there for about 2 years or so. I've been to Morocco 3 times. I've been to Turkey and Egypt and Switzerland a couple times, Mexico, Germany, Spain, France, England, Indonesia, Dubai, Malaysia, Singapore. And if you count airports, I always count airports because I just like dig into them. When I'm in an airport of a country I've not been in, I get really excited. I like look out the windows and I'm going to go through all the shops and see the local food and look as much as I can, even in an airport, get to understand that culture. So if you count those, I've got Hong Kong, Taiwan and Sri Lanka, but I've never been in those countries outside the airport, so it doesn't really count. So another couple things about my channel that you may not know if you're newer. The reason why comments don't show up right away is because my husband and I have been really purposeful about allowing comments versus, so we actually go through a process of when you make a comment, we actually read it before allowing it to show up for everybody. And the reason for that is because, how do I put it? ASMR is a genre that can get some weird comments. And what I mean is sexual comments that are really inappropriate. It's something that I don't want to see when I go into the internet. It's something I don't want other people to see. I don't want it to be part of people's lives. So we just don't let those go through. We want the channel to be a place that's like PG-13, if you will. So when you come here, hopefully you're getting like the PG-13 movie of ASMR, not something that could potentially be inappropriate for children or adults for that matter. Or just like a slew of cursing for no purpose that says nothing. I don't mind constructive criticism at all, or a curse word here, that doesn't bother me. So we don't avoid that, but just things that would be kind of sick or gross, that sort of thing. Not interested in that being a part of life or for the people that come to my channel. So that's the reason why if you comment and you can't see other people's comments right off the bat, just come back later if you really want to see them. They'll show up eventually when we go through the process of allowing. My husband does most of that. He does that on Thursdays. So he tries to get through batches and batches on Thursdays, and that's kind of how we work that out. Another thing to mention, this might be a surprise to you as well, but and a lot of you probably already know this, but part of the way that I've chosen to be anonymous on my channel is that the way I'm speaking now, is not how I actually speak. Surprise! So yeah, this isn't my actual accent. When I started my channel, I did not speak at all. And when I realized I really wanted to be able to communicate, I decided that the only way I'd feel comfortable doing that is if it wasn't in my real accent, just to keep that anonymous portion. The internet's just a really big place, and we have had several reasons for that. One of which is that I've shared this many times, but for those of you who are newer, when we first started the channel, we had some friends who had a very large YouTube channel, and they had, I shouldn't say like huge, but large enough, and they had people that actually tried to find their home and it was because of the YouTube channel, they were able to find her. It got bad. They had to have the police there, and basically, I mean, she had like stalkers basically. So, and then on top of that, I have actually personally had a stalker, and to be honest, still do. It's not because of this channel. I have only shared this, I think, one other time, but there's a person who actually there's a bit of fear there. Like, I would probably have to get a restraining order if something else were to happen. So I am a bit cautious. This person doesn't live in the country that I live in and doesn't know where I currently live. So that is a factor for me as well, unfortunately. So I have had a lot of people ask me where my accent is from, that they can't quite put their finger on it. And you're absolutely right, it is hard to put your finger on. And that was because I have a lot of influences. I think it's primarily like British is what I have been in a play when I was younger, and I had to speak in a British accent, so this is my best version of that. But I have a lot of people in my life that influence it with the New Zealand influence a bit. There's Australian, a bit of an influence, and so if I am listening to those people for extended periods of time or things like that, sometimes that can kind of twang into my accent. And of course, my personal, the way I actually speak, comes into it also. So I've been doing it so long with you guys that it's kind of become like one singular accent that is just mine. So it might just be unique to me now because it's got a bit of an influence from different places. So thank you for putting up with it. I know it's not perfect to any one accent out there, but it's the best that I can do, and I hope it's relaxing for you guys a bit. Okay, last thing is just a couple things that I love. You know that I love dancing, I love to organize and clean. That's just something I really enjoy. I've actually considered starting like an organization, like budgeting, lifestyle, stuff like that, kind of decorating channel. I'm not sure if I ever will, but I love those things. I love to decorate. I love small space living. I love tiny house living, if you're familiar with that. I really love my family. I love simple living where money is not my priority or what is most important for me to gather. I try to live really simply and on a budget so that I get more time with the things that are more higher priorities to me, which is my family, ministry. Something I really love is I love Jesus very much, and you guys probably know that. I just shared the verse on my arm. And so I like doing things that are a part of loving people and spending time to take care of people, whether it be with food or clothing or water that people need in other countries. That stuff's really close to my heart because I think it matters a lot to God to care for the people that He made. So this is just some things I'm really passionate about, and that sum up a lot of who I am. I'm a really sweet person, but I'm also really passionate and can be a bit fiery about that passion, strong-willed, if you will. So I kind of have that dual, like, two things, really sweet. So yeah, quite really sweet, but also really passionate. So sometimes those things are like, sometimes I have like inner turmoil as I process how to be, because I've got a lot of things going on inside of me. I'm a deep thinker. I process life at sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming, and I have to be a bit less intense about how much I think, because it can be overwhelming. I have to give a lot to the Lord, just like, yeah. That's a bit about me. As far as my channel, you guys know I do fast tapping and scratching. I do soft spoken like this. Once in a while I'll do a whispering video. I do hair play and hair brushing sometimes. Like arm scratching once in a while, things like that. I try and do here and there. And I'm starting to do some store walkthroughs, tapping and scratching on things. So, and once in a while I'll do a car tapping and scratching, stuff like that. So welcome. Thank you for taking the time to hear a little bit about me and letting me introduce myself to you. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this channel. I hope that answered some of your questions, and I hope to get to know you guys better. Please continue to write your comments and ask me any other questions you have, and hopefully we'll do another one of these again. Have a great rest of your day or evening.